who are just really emerging on the scene this year at the beginning of this year. So now is sort of a merging of timelines for all of Brawlhalla in the EU side.
And now we're going to be going into the first match of the Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel Championship for EU, the top 4. We've got Blue versus Pavelski on Shipwreck Falls. Surrey versus Ragnar. We're going to be opening it up right now. And the first weapon is...
Oh, taking a sip.
Refreshing beverage.
Now, see, he has the OG Charged.
He does have the OG Charged.
My favorite flavor.
Yeah.
Looks like we're, man, just there's so much tension. It's so taut. So very tight.
Is this one of it's one of these? Oh, looks like everything's okay. Going right into it. And now, opening it up with the guitars versus sword. Blue trying to find an approach stopper with that neutral light. Finds the D-light down or tries to reset with the neutral light as well. And Pavelski now returning with his own strings. There's that side light and the down light to bring Blue up, but Blue managing to avoid any further strings. As we talked about earlier, Pavelski was able to find so many dodge reads on his last opponent get vaped. Now, here in the top 4,
double recoveries.
Blue's finding a lot of recoveries.
And he's hardly been touched so far. Finally, Pavelski picks up this axe, gets a nice 2-hit. Trying to follow up with these recoveries to try and take Blue out off the top. There's a D-light recovery to punish the neutral signature, sitting him off screen, but not quite. That very high kill ceiling on Shipwreck coming out. That recovery happened to go the wrong way. It was a 50-50 chance which way Blue was going to go. Unfortunately for Pavelski, he happened to pick the wrong way. See him nice gravity cancel side signature. That's going to cover the level that he was on, like that half jump height up, but also the grounded opponent as well. But it's going to be Blue with that sword recovery to take Pavelski off the top, and he's going to get the first strike here, getting that beautiful stock from Pavelski.
And Blue with a solid lead finds a little bit more. Oh, Pavelski throwing out the neutral stick looking for that dodge read. Maybe if he pivoted it, it would have worked out, but instead he's just finding more sidelights. He pivots the neutral stick again, but Blue's managing to avoid death and finding so much more chip damage. Onto Pavelski, there's that down signature. Pavelski find that sidelight. And there, pivots the side sig, correctly getting that dodge punish, finds a stock off of Blue and evens it up 2-2. Weapons are denied, and Pavelski's holding onto the guitars, looking for... There's been a lot of guitar back and forth, actually. Blue has found plenty of downlight recoveries.
And there's another one
2 in a row.
Right after that.
And even like... Because it's interesting, not too many sword players use... So sword recovery either comes out for its purpose, where you're trying to get back to the stage, or after a downlight. But Blue has even been putting them out... Oh, jeez, he found a third one. He's been putting it out just to catch Pavelski's landing. Instead of using a sword and air, he'll put out a recovery. And it's a little risky because you move with the move. Obviously, it's not like Ragnar neutral sig where like what's hitting your opponent. Oh, Pavelski with those 2 recoveries, trying to get that kill off the top very soon because Blue is winning all these exchanges out. Another D-light recovery on sword will definitely finish off the stock. In fact, many more options will. That Sarah just barely not doing it. Shipwreck Falls, very small map, but huge blast zones.
The fact they did the unarmed Sarah, it sent Pavelski actually pretty high, so he was able to use 2 unarmed dares to make it back to the platform before having to use any of his jumps. That was keeping his in-air movement economy close to the chest. There's that gravity cancel side signature, again, covering an aerial and grounded opponent by gravity canceling it just a little bit. The weapon toss is coming up.
Can he make it back with the dodge?
He has the dodge.
Definitely just thought he wasn't going to make it back there, but Pavelski conserved all of his mobility options, and is he going to take the first stock here? Or I guess the first stock of this exchange.
Now, I wonder,
on 2 stocks for so long. There, finally, recovery. Blue takes him off the top. What were you wondering?
I'm wondering if that was Blue thinking he had Pavelski's stock, or whether that was him being like, I don't have a weapon right now. Pavelski does. I have a weapon disadvantage, and I would rather just maintain the middle stage control for when that weapon does spawn, then I have immediate access to it.
It wasn't like Blue was on a fresh stock either, right? That could have been so easily turned around against Pavelski, who had a weapon on
Him
stage.
not choosing to edgeguard there might have been the tactical choice so that he could get the weapon, maintain stage control, and not have to fight the weapon disadvantage.
Unfortunately for Blue, Pavelski was able to find a side stick right upon respawning, and now is taking a little bit of a lead as the string begins. The downlight, double downlight there into chase dodge up, went for the recovery, but went to the wrong direction, but so close to being able to get that exact string that we were talking about that we saw earlier on through his loser's bracket run. Pavelski on the side of the stage here has time to recover. Blue going for that down sig.
He was trying to put out all of those active frames for if Pavelski was going to come and attack him unarmed.
Or dodge down.
But Pavelski went over him all the way out. Again, he's using that so well. I don't think I've seen
the ground pound hits
any other Ragnar player using like that. He just waits it out. His
finish.
timing was so good on that. That axe recovery has a ton of active frames. It puts out that almost 360 just kind of shield around yourself of hitboxes. But Blue is able to time it so well and just wait out those hitboxes so that he could find that ground ground pound perfectly.
And I want to remark on your detail with the side signature and why it's significant that he's gravity canceling it slightly on Ragnar, being that the properties of its hitbox, they change when you're in the air. It's kind of like with Val,
3, 2, 1,
when you use the sword side sig, if you're hitting into the wall, you travel upwards, right? Ragnar will if you use it on the ground, chop his axe into the ground. But using the air, it falls a little bit, and it has that behind hitbox. And that's what he was catching Blue with a lot of the time, and that's why he's gravity canceling it. We might see a little bit more of it because he saw how successful it was. Unfortunately, fortunately for Blue, was able to find those amazing edge guards off the side of the stage. And all these downlights are catching Pavelski as he lands. Now I'm seeing why Blue went for that down sig on the stage, because Pavelski keeps trying to recover onto the edge.
Right over that corner.
Oh, but Pavelski with the turnaround. On that down like grandpa, but he went further.
He's still doing it.
And that's an interesting choice from Pavelski, because strings are strings, so are the combos. You can get so much off of them, but he wanted to keep going to see maybe if he could get a gimped unarmed instead of going back and finding a weapon, because even though he got that damage, he has not picked up a weapon this entire game.
And that damage was...
And he's still getting beaten around.
It's next to nothing. Like 3 hits on the unarmed kit, like, yeah, it's a nice start, but that's not the meat and potatoes of a stock. And he was going for like the unarmed gimp off the side. He missed the dare, but even if he did get that dare, getting an unarmed gimp at that point is so difficult. Everything has to go right for you, and almost everything has to go wrong for your opponent. But Pavelski's still keeping himself in this. Got a huge guitar string there against Blue, bringing him into kill percent. You're seeing him try to find these axe side airs, these kill moves. There's the gravity cancel side signature.
And you saw the flames going underneath, right, in that circular motion. Something that wouldn't happen if you used the side stick just on the ground normally. Originally, the move's used a lot on the edge, because if you start on the ground and then go into the air, it'll still have the same property. But because he's gravity canceling, it's working out so well. He's in the air. I was expecting another pivot side stick maybe, but he goes for the neutral stick instead. Blue stays grounded and gets a nice little punish. Pavelski's still not finding this first stock off. Blue finally gets the falling Sair. Blue sent flying.
Pavelski's not in a bad spot, though. It might have been looking like he could be in a rough spot if it was going at the same rate it was before, but he put out so much damage. He's probably taken about 40 to 50 damage so far in this stock, so definitely not an insurmountable amount of damage that he's going to have to put out quickly. But if Blue finds some strings, he's using these signature follow-ups off of his light attacks. If Pavelski ends up dodging into those or happen to dodge wrong, he might get caught out. He's now at kill percent. Blue is doing a fantastic job of not huge strings, but just little bit by little bit and consistently building it up.
Blue's doing what I'd like to see Pavelski adapt, and that's remember when he went for the unarmed string and then he didn't get a weapon off of it because he went too far, and then continue to get punished. Blue is finding just enough to put Pavelski in a state where he needs to recover, and he's continuing to return him to that state. And he's finding so much success here in game number 2 off of that strategy. Pavelski struggling to find more hits onto Blue as he's getting closer to the same amount of damage, but a whole stock behind. Weapon toss went down, expecting Blue to go forward, but Blue just wastes it out. Pavelski doesn't get the dodge read, and Blue gets that downlight down, and throws the air follow-up, but another downlight into Sair will put Pavelski up the side of the stage, and Blue's just going to be waiting for that landing again.
He's controlling absolutely everything right now. His guitars were looking pretty good, but his sword is looking just unbeatable at this point.
And he has the ultimate landing punish tool with that downlight, because it doesn't move. It moves your character a little bit forward. Oh, that haymaker stopped by the weapon toss. Pavelski so close to death. Blue's definitely taking game 2 if he keeps it up. Sair connects, tosses the weapon upwards to stop Pavelski from being able to reconnect, and now it's going to be one D-light recovery. But Pavelski starting off with a nice little combo, puts out the nair, doesn't risk the recovery. Blue playing it smart, but there's the side sig, and it takes the stock. Pavelski evens it up. And he's looking for that weapon spawn. Denies everything from Blue. Blue has downlight recovery in his arsenal unarmed.
No, unfortunately for Pavelski, he wanted the guitars. He threw the axe away and thought he could pick up the guitars in time, but they despawn. And because of that, he is without a weapon,
unarmed.
Eats a sword side air from Blue, and Blue is going to take that, putting out more than 200 damage over Pavelski.
Yeah, incredible showing, and I think a lot of that...